What's going on, everybody, and welcome back once again to the channel. In this video I'm going to be breaking down Bud Dupree signing with the Atlanta Falcons on a one-year deal worth up to $5 million. And without further ado, let's begin. So Bud Dupree, the veteran linebacker, outside linebacker, Bud Dupree played the first 6 years of his career with the Steelers from 2015 through 2020, and then has spent the last 2 years with the Tennessee Titans. He entered free agency this year, but yeah, Bud Dupree has totaled about 46.5 sacks in his career. He's coming off of a 4-sack season, but he missed some time this year. Bud Dupree is a linebacker, but he is not a linebacker who's in coverage and who's going to be making a lot of tackle. He is a pass rushing linebacker. He's an outside linebacker. He's been in a 3-4 scheme his whole career, which means if you're an outside linebacker in a 3-4 scheme, you're lined up on the line like if you're a defensive lineman and you're rushing the passer. So yes, he's technically a linebacker, but in a 4-3 scheme, for example, an outside linebacker would be in coverage. A good example of this is like Willie Gay Jr. But in a 3-4 system, which what Bud Dupree's in, has been in his whole career, he is a linebacker, but he's a guy who is mostly rushing the passer. So he's not a guy who's a tackling machine. He hasn't gotten a lot of tackles in his career. He's a pass rusher. Like I said, a veteran guy. This is a good pickup for the Falcons. The Falcons are really continuing to load up their defense, and I'll talk about that more in a second. But yeah, I think this is a great signing for the Falcons. It's cheap. Apparently the Steelers were trying to get Bud Dupree back after being gone. He went to the Titans for a couple of years. They tried to get him back, but Bud Dupree was looking for a one-year deal. The Steelers don't like to give out one-year deals. They prefer 2-year deals. But yeah, so Bud Dupree, I think I can see him, if he stays healthy, having a good 4 or 5 sacks this year. If he is rotating in and out, because the Falcons have a lot of good pass rushers. I think on a lot of other teams, Bud Dupree would be like the starting edge rusher on one side of the defensive line. But since the Falcons have brought in so many guys and already had some guys, he may not be a full-time starter. But yeah, I think if he is a full-time starter, he could get 8 or 9, maybe 10 sacks. But I think he is more likely to play 50% of the downs on defense. So I'm thinking 4 or 5 sacks. But yeah, if you look at it from the Falcons as a whole defensively, they've brought in a lot of guys. They brought in a lot of proven guys like Calais Campbell, now Bud Dupree, brought in Jesse Bates, traded for Jeff Okudah a couple of days ago. They already had Grady Jarrett. They drafted Troy Anderson and Arnold Ebiketie in the last draft. There's some really good pieces here for this defense to be really good, and they have the new defensive coordinator in Ryan Nielsen, who has a lot to work with on this team. So yeah, the Falcons are loading up on defense, and I think this team has the potential to have a top 10 defense, maybe even better. But yeah, great move for the Falcons. Falcons are continuing to make moves. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys next time.